Yo, what up? What's going on with you? How you guys are doing? We are back, and it's what?
Mega time.
You know, we're about to crack it off with another episode of some greatness. But anyway, what's going on with you? How you feeling?
I'm good. Why are you
say that again.
All right.
No, say that again. You said
I'm good.
You did a little twist, whatever.
I did. I'm trying to get comfortable because my back is out, y'all. But we're not here to talk about that because I'm old.
She got her
allegedly
back broke.
Allegedly, it's all right.
Broken.
Anyways, I want to do something before we start, and I know this is probably going to air before it even after it happens. But shout out to my son. His birthday is when this airs. It had already passed, but happy 12th birthday! I love you. I'm proud of you, and you're my everything.
Happy birthday, Joseph. You know what I'm saying? Happy birthday, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Big 12.
Yeah.
Give your mama hell, dog. It is all good. You feel me? But anyway.
Thanks. Preteens, y'all. I'm not ready.
Hey, it's all good. You'll love it.
I'm not ready.
You'll love it.
I know, because you already have teenagers. Yeah,
you know what you got to do?
Slap the shit out of them?
No, you kick them in their ass really, really, really hard.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. You just got to kick their ass really, really, really hard. Like one really good time. Have some good kids.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Put him in a headlock the other day.
I think he got out of it.
He didn't.
Oh, man.
He didn't, because he's scared still. He still has that little fear of me of like, because we spar, and so when I don't go easy on his little ass, and so he gets that jab, my quick ass jab, and so
quick jab. Go ahead.
You can meet me in the ring too, Martel.
No,
Anyways,
you don't want my problems.
You don't want these problems, but not right now because my back hurts. But when it gets back to normal, we can go spar. Anyways. So we're going to do something a little different.
Yeah. Please, let's get to this. Let's talk about it.
We're going to ask each other some questions that we've always wanted to know about each other. So I'm going to start first.
Ooh, okay. Well, run it up.
Who is your favorite sibling? We all have one.
I don't have one.
That's a lie, Martel.
I don't like none of them.
Oh.
I'm just playing with you. But no, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't have a favorite sibling. I don't believe in favorites. Can I explain something to you real quick before we go on? I never, because of how I grew up, I was never taught favoritism of any sort. So I don't have a favorite sibling. Now, which ones do I mess with more? Mm-hmm. There's only 4 of them that I actually mess with. Mm-hmm. And that's it. But as far as my brothers, mm-hmm. But my sisters, I love them both. You know what I'm saying? But like my brothers, I only mess with 4 of them.
We all I have 5 siblings. We all got a favorite. He's lying.
I don't.
But it's okay. You don't want to share. You can go ahead and ask your question.
I really don't. I don't have a favorite sibling. I promise. Love them all the same. It's what it is.
Right.
I just have different relationships with all of them.
Yeah, that's true. Every sibling gets a different relationship.
I have a different relationship. That's it. Yeah. But my question to you is, okay, this is what made you really, really, really want to do this podcast with me?
Why are you asking me? We get asked this all the time.
I said with me. I never asked you, why did it come to you to ask me, and why did it come to you to say, I've always wanted to ask you this, but I've never asked you this.
That's okay.
This is a legit question, though.
No, I'm going to answer it.
Well, go ahead.
I'm going to answer it. Dr. Phil moment, y'all.
Oh, my God.
All right. Believe it or not, I have a lot of friends that ask me to do podcasts with them. Mm-hmm. Right? Because I instill not like thinking in them, I guess. It's just the philosopher in me that makes people just want to like think about life differently. And so they come to me and start asking me like, we should do a podcast because we have such insightful conversations. Right? Okay. So I've never met somebody that kind of does that. My friends do it. I'm not putting them down like that because we both do it to each other. Right? But I haven't met somebody that I guess challenges me a little bit in a sense of like, me and you, we don't agree on a lot of stuff, but there's some stuff that we do agree on.
Right.
And the type of conversations that we have, I think is very like raw, like very open, and we're able to just say whatever we want, and then you're not going to be sensitive about it. I'm not going to be sensitive about it, and we could just keep pushing. Right.
True enough.
And like you said, every relationship, like your siblings, is different, right? With each person. That's how I am with my friends. Like we all have different relationships, and I love them all for who they are differently.
Got you.
But sometimes you have to kind of like watch what you say because you don't want to, make them.
I definitely understand that factor right there.
And with you, I don't give a fuck, really.
Same here. I don't give a fuck. So
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Answer my question.
Even if I do make you a little pissed off sometimes, I know you get over in like 2.5 seconds. So
I don't really trip over anything. I just talk my shit. I talk my shit. It is what it is. But anyway, go ahead. Your turn.
yeah. All right. So what made you choose to say yes?
So you're piggybacking off my
I know
question.
I did. For that one I did.
And so pretty much it's funny, I was just explaining to the guys outside. I was like, yo, you have been asking me. And I was really in the no stage. Remember, in my mind, I'm just like, I don't want to fucking do it. I didn't want to do it. So I had went to another friend's crib, place, and I saw something. I was like, damn, man. Like, okay, cool. Nice. I hit you up, remember? Mm-hmm. Just, it was in the thoughts, you know what I mean? Boom. All right. So then time goes down the line. I see Mike. I'm talking to him about some music, you know, looking for some production for my album. And then I was like talking to him, and then he was like, "Hey, let me show you something real quick." So we come to this room right here, and he's like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna do podcasts." And he was like, "Dude, you should do it." And I'm like, "All right, man." Like, God was speaking to me, and at that moment, you know, I had a little bit of time to sit on it. But right then and there, in that moment when I left here, I said to myself, "I'm gonna do it. Fuck it. I'm gonna tell her we're gonna do it." And that's what made me want to do it, because I felt like it was being put in my face. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, when things like that happen for me, it was like, I got to go with that, because if I don't, then I'm doing wrong. That's just me. So, you know, that's why we did it. That's why I said yes.
Next question, I guess, is if somebody else were to ask you, would have asked you during the time that I asked you and this opportunity arose, would you still have chosen to do this one, or would you have done both, or would you have gone with somebody else, depending on who it was? Like,
so I'll be honest with you. Me and my brothers were talking about doing one, but I felt like my brother was too busy. One of my brothers, and we're all in separate places, and that to me wasn't going to work. You know, and so for me it was just like, not that I went over that, but it was just like, it wasn't. You know, it wasn't time. It wasn't nothing going in motion for it to be processed. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, when this came about, I was like, man, like, you know what? Like I said, the universe was talking to me. God spoke to me, and he just said, do it. And
he said, Vanessa's the one.
So there we go. That's the answer to that. You know what I mean? But yeah. So next question.
Your turn. I asked 2 right now, so it's your turn.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So why is your favorite color blue? And be honest.
My favorite color is not blue.
Why do you rep it so hard?
One, I know I know, like, it
fucks
go
with
ahead. You sometimes. I do it because it's like a little sister thing. Yeah. Of like messing with you. But to be honest with you, my favorite color is green. Oh, I don't really care for. I mean, blue's cool. Like, but cool. You know, being transparent, I was married to somebody who wore a lot of blue, so that was part of my life for a long time. But you know, so that's probably why I rep it a lot.
Is that the same reason you're a Cowboy fan?
No, I've been a Cowboy fan since I was 4 years old.
Okay, gotcha.
No. And then I grew up in South Central, so that's a lot of like, and then the area in which I grew up, and you know, I told you Snoop Dogg was my first babysitter. So like blue has been in my life for a long time.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Well, we don't have to go through all these questions. I think it's time to just
start the show.
Just start it up. But anyway, I hope you guys are enjoying y'all day like we're enjoying ours. But we got a special guest for you guys. Do you want to introduce him?
He is my good friend, creator of an amazing comic book, General Joshua, and a page called Nerdz and Hip Hop, which I love because he brings hip hop and nerdy shit together. And I'm a big ass nerd, you know that. We're bringing on Josh.
Talk about the glasses, but anyway.
Damn, man. We're bringing on Josh.
Let's go. Let's bring him on in.
This shit is bigger than me. Give me my flowers while I can still breathe. I'm smelling the glory, I tasted defeat. Nothing feels better than chasing your dreams. Yeah. This shit is bigger than me. Give me my flowers while I can still breathe. I'm smelling the glory, I tasted defeat. Nothing feels better than chasing your dreams. Yeah. Given my history, nothing compared to me. Nothing come next to me, no. Claiming my victories, can't let you win with me unless you sit with us, yeah. Given my history, nothing nothing compared to me, nothing come next to me, no, no. Claiming my victories, can't let you win with me unless you sit with us, yeah.
King at a table, shit on a label. Just like
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Hey, how's it going? How's it going? I finally made it.
I know. I'm so happy to have you.
Definitely. I'm happy to be here. Seriously.
Thank you
Glad
so much.
to have you, dog.
Thank you.
So what's going on, man? How's your day going?
Everything's going good. Came through and been just doing a lot of working on things, whether it's Nerdz and Hip Hop, General Joshua. Just really been trying to keep myself focused and just present in the moment and enjoying the whole journey. Because sometimes you get a whole tendency to be like, I just want to see everything be amazing. I want to see everything be like just fantastic. But, you got to go through the motions.
Got you. Yeah, I'm having an issue with that right now, actually.
I know, he is.
Yeah.
I am going through that right now.
But I've seen you progress your pages from the jump, like when you first started them. So to see where they're at now, like that has been like a lot of love, sweat, and tears that you have put into that. And I was just talking to him about that. Like you've really, you've grown so much. I've known you for a long time. You've grown so much as a man, as a husband, as, just a business owner. And I'm so proud of you. And I just wanted to share that with you.
I really appreciate that.
No problem.
That means a lot, seriously, because it's oftentimes that we don't pay attention to our own journey from somebody else's standpoint, and just honestly looking at where I started to where I am now is just it's surreal, but at the same time it's just like it makes me like a weird kind of happy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that. It's like the best way to put that is like kind of like when you're in sports and it's that moment from when you suck to when you got better. But it's like you do notice through what people say, but at the same time yourself, you're like...
You're still there at the bottom
You're still in disbelief.
Yeah,
it's like my fitness journey. Like I still see myself where I started.
Yeah, like I think a lot of people. I think a lot of people like kind of see themselves like, for instance, like when we see ourselves in the mirror, we still see that same person.
Yeah,
we still see that same person.
It's kind of like belief
dysmorphia. For instance, I always use this right here. Right, I don't ever see how big I am until I take a picture with somebody. I don't ever see my progress until I see myself next to somebody who has like actually looks like something. Yeah. So I'm like, damn. I guess people ain't lying. They ain't tripping. But it's like to me myself, when I look in the mirror, I just see who I am. I don't, you know what I'm saying? So, and I don't, sometimes we don't almost see our own growth, you know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Because, like I said, my whole thing is to make myself enjoy those moments where I like to call them like, if you're at sea and you're trying to get to a different location, and instead of like, always paying attention to how far you are off from where you want to be, really taking those moments to look back and be like, yo, damn, I've come far. That was a mission, like, you know what I mean? So
did it,
it's those type of things, the small wins that if you don't focus on a little bit, like, you know what I mean, it just makes the journey that much longer.
Hell yeah, I feel you on that.
Like Moana. I like it. So let's talk about how long we've known each other. So the first time I met your ass was we went to Vegas with a bunch of people, and I think the first thing I said to you was, your ass looks like Lloyd Banks. Straight up.
Hey, what the
Don't he look like Lloyd Banks?
Nah, bro, don't. You just going with the chin strap thing, man.
He looked like Lloyd Banks.
Did you, was the beard cut lower, a little bit more lower, and it had the little chin strap?
I don't think you had a beard. And G-Unit was like really big at that time. So I was like, your ass looks like Lloyd Banks. A dark version. No,
oh my
gosh. Like a chocolate version. No, not. Okay, anyways. But
she's a piece of work, isn't she?
Yeah, well, funny thing is, I got to tell your public a little bit about that night, because that honestly was when I first realized that V was a fighter.
Oh,
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, so since you brought, I wasn't gonna say nothing about that, but let's bring it up.
I had to bring up Lloyd Banks. That's why.
So so
I gotta hear this.
That time we went. I gotta do the whole look up thing, because I gotta like act like there's a bubble right here so I can really visualize this. Okay, so that time we went out to Vegas, you know what I mean? And me and her got separated from the group somehow, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because they walked fucking fast.
Yeah, we were mobbing, but I mean, we were really far from the group.
Yeah.
And the gist is that, when we got separated, It was just me and her. We hardly knew each other at all, and we were
Not at all.
talking. And all of a sudden, we were like, "Oh damn, we're lost. Let's try to find a group." Cell phones call, all that good stuff. And then, basically, on that little journey, some dude just comes out of nowhere and was just like trying to holler at her, and she was like mad uncomfortable. And I was like, "Yo, like chill, like leave the hell alone." Like, saying everything like that. And then, he was trying to like still push. I was like, I got a little aggressive, and I said something more, and then he dipped. Not even like, dude, like 3 minutes later, you know what I mean? We're walking to go find our friend group. And all of a sudden, like this chick, I don't know if I brushed her or bumped into her or something like that. And she got like mad, like, yo, this, that, and third, da, da. And so she pops out like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? You need to chill. Like, I was like, who is this lady? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, yo, she kind of about it. And that was the first time, like, like that was like kind of how we kind of bonded a little bit.
Gotcha.
Thank you for acknowledging that back in the day, I was a pimp, all right? I used to walk around and people would just talk to me. See? You didn't ever believe me. You never believed me. But thank you, Josh, for bringing up that story.
Josh, don't believe that shit, what she just said. I've never ever for one, I would never let me speak to the camera real quick. I would never discount anybody or discredit, on what they do that I have nothing to do with because I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about that.
Okay, back to
How could I tell you no?
Back to Josh. But yeah, y'all heard it here first.
Yeah, he put it out there. I would just never say anything because I don't know anything about that part. Hey, it is what it is. But don't be lying on me, though.
When I saw that you made a page for Nerdz and Hip Hop, I was like, that's Josh. I knew because I think after that, like, obviously we're all hanging out still, right? And then we became friends, and we just became friends. And we would have conversations about Spider-Man, Wolverine. That's my guy.
Hey, wait, hold up. You're a Wolverine fan? Overall?
You act like you don't know me.
I'm a Wolverine guy.
Okay, so that's why we're friends.
Okay, cool, perfect.
Makes sense.
I didn't know it was Wolverine.
Okay, Jelly Bean. Anyway. So we talked about stuff like that, right? And so when you created that page, I was like, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. And I'm glad that you embrace like that part of you, even though I don't think you ever hidden it, because you've always been yourself. But yeah, tell us more about your page, and then we'll get into your comic book.
Okay, cool. So me making Nerdz and Hip Hop was more or less for me something to like cinch the duality, which was my life. Like, I really do love both sides of the culture. Like, I did rap for a long time, you know what I mean? And then I did art school, all that kind of stuff like that for a while. And to really bring a head to what my life was, like, just the side of all hip hop, or the nerd side, the things that I love that, some people that I grew up with wouldn't deem dope. It was really, for me, kind of just a culmination, like really just putting a melting pot together. And when I first created it, I honestly was, I made my comic and I was looking for a demographic that would like my comic. And so when I went into, doing an Instagram page, I started seeing a lot of people say, oh man, I love hip hop, I love nerd stuff, I love anime. And for me, that was like a lightning bolt, like a lightning strike, like, yo, I'm gonna make this like page. And just, just a little fun like page, see how it goes for me, and it just, in 2020, it just started to blow a little bit. Like, people really
I swear, like, I think everything in like 2020 just started to really just take off for a lot of people. That's the craziest thing, because every time I think that's just like the third time we've interviewed somebody and they said, like,
COVID,
when
man.
COVID, it's like, I think people were just at home and they were just like, man,
Bored.
fucking bored. They were
We gotta
just
do
trying to
something
figure some
now.
shit out. Yeah. And it came alive. So that's dope, man.
I think there was a study that said that there was more millionaires created during COVID than I don't know what the analysis is, but exactly. But it's like there was so many millionaires that were created during COVID, whether it be influencers,
Best fucking
social media.
ideas start popping out, huh?
I mean, you're sitting at home and you have really nothing else to do. You're gonna make some shit pop off, and then you're getting $1,200 from the government every so often.
Yeah.
Like, it's free money to actually do it. And then they had the PPP loans or whatever they're called.
Oh man,
That people
hope y'all
were-
wasn't one of them.
They
getting y'all asses out there, boy.
But there's people that actually utilize that to actually do good and create their business dreams, and they're thriving now. Him being one of them.
True enough. Yeah.
Because Nerdz and Hip Hop, I mean, marketing in the marketing world, like, those just naming it that, Nerdz and Hip Hop, simple, to the point. And who doesn't like hip hop? I mean, a lot of people probably don't like hip hop, but when you put them two together, it just brings to light like your own little
community. Community, yeah.
And so that was dope. And so, yeah, this is my friend Josh from Nerdz and Hip Hop.
Hello, Josh. my question is like, so what made you want to call it that?
The best way to describe why I would call it that, like I said, it's just a duality of like my personality. If you know me for a while, it's like, there's this wild side of me, the more energetic, the more kind of like, shows where I grew up, like,
Yeah.
And then there's the side of me that's just nerdy. Like, I just love nerdy stuff. I love anime. I love gaming. I love all kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, there's a duality. I mean, when you get to talk to me, it's kind of like you'll see that side, and then you'll also see this side.
Right.
And so I just kind of gave it a name. Like, you know what I mean? Just gave it a name.
That's right, man. It just clicked. Boom.
You're lucky it was available on Instagram. Right? During that time.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Hopefully you lock that in on the business side of things.
Yeah, definitely got to. And the way I spell it, it's almost crazy because I just put it all together.
Yeah.
Nerdz and Hip Hop, one word. Like,
Easy.
So when you started doing music, like what age you start doing music?
What age did I start rapping or did I start doing music? That's kind of like 2 ones for me.
Okay.
Double one.
I'm gonna go with let's say rapping.
Okay. Rapping was like 12 years old. 12 years old. Man.
About the same age.
Yeah. I was.
Now let me ask you this: when did you start doing music?
Music. I was. I think I was 19 when I actually put a pen to paper. That was the first time I did it. And I guess why it took so long was because I love freestyle. Freestyle was my thing. I didn't really care about everything else.
Same way, bro.
Like, you know what I mean? It was just like battle rapping and all that stuff at the lunch tables.
Yeah.
Was me. That was my world.
Yeah.
Like, and
that's dope.
yeah, that was more me. So to actually make songs was deep for me. And after, let's see, what was it, 19, 20? Around 20, I actually got signed, and to Spin Cow Entertainment, which was like some like weird label. Like, you know what I mean? That was basically connecting Christina Milian, some other people, all that stuff like that. It was like...
Was that the cat that lived in L.A. where you recorded that one song? We went to his apartment again with the group of people, and you recorded a song with somebody that was in the industry. Is that the same guy?
Probably.
You said Spin Cow?
Yeah, it's called Spin Cow. You know what I mean? The only thing I can say about it that people be like, oh, I remember that. Like, Christina Milian made that Dip It Low song. She was like Spin Cow.
I think they were linked up with Capital.
Probably.
The only reason I say that is because there was a big venue that I did like around 2005, and like they had, and that name sounds familiar. And Capital is the one who hosted it, but there was like a lot of different like smaller labels that were like there. You know what I'm saying? And that name just sounds familiar.
Yeah. No, it was during that time, I guess. I don't know. I'm forgetting what year it was, but that was when I started my journey.
Gotcha.
I mean, you were good. I remember hearing some of your stuff when you were creating, and it was amazing. I was telling him, I was like, he's like a lyricist. Like he can actually write some shit. So, but we won't ask you to freestyle. Don't worry.
Please not today.
Gotcha,
but
man.
Fun fact. Me and you used to box together.
Yep, did that.
So
too.
Yeah, out here.
Yeah, it was primarily out here.
With another cat. What's his name?
Eric.
Yeah, Eric.
My man
Eric.
E.
I don't know his last name.
Inge. Yeah.
Eric Inch.
Probably don't want to throw out his government too much.
No, don't be giving out. That's why I just said Eric.
Okay.
Go over here.
Anyway,
Let's cut that out.
You understand? I know a lot of people, so and I
I
box out here too, so that's what I'm asking.
I don't know.
Yeah, his name was Eric Ice Cold Inge. Like he he kept doing it for a long time. I haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah, hopefully he's doing good. Yeah. But yeah, I would come out, even when I was in LA, I would come out on the weekends, and me and him and Eric would train.
Out here? There was a gym out here?
Who was that guy that would help us with mitts?
It was ASG.
ASG. That's Coach Glover.
Mm-hmm.
Glover. Mm-hmm. That's Carl Glover. Yeah.
No, there was a little Mexican guy.
Oh, John.
Was it John?
Yeah. Or Eddie.
Eddie. It was Eddie.
Yeah, Eddie.
These guys.
Yeah.
So I think everybody in here boxed at one point.
Oh,
This got me because I know Carl. So I probably known Carl Glover for the longest.
Okay.
From ASG.
I don't know who that is.
He wanted me to fight for him for the longest. Well, if you went to that gym, then you got to know who he is.
No, because I only stuck to the people like him.
But he's the owner. He was the owner of ASG.
I didn't meet him, man.
Okay.
If I don't know him, I don't know him.
Carl wasn't always out there.
No, but
he was like, he would be there for a second. He'd be in his office a lot.
And
like
mixed martial arts too. So
not my business.
I've known him since I went to Rancho. So he was a wrestling coach at Rancho when I was going there. And I was one time we all left and we graduated. He was like, "Oh, bro, you should come over here," because he knew I boxed when I was in high school. So he would be telling me, "Come over here," and I would not fight for him because everybody that I knew from high school was going with him, and I did not like them, so I wanted to fight them. Oh, wow. So yeah, that was just me. It was like I don't want. It was like a reunion over there. If I would have went over there, it was like a reunion. So it was no point for me. So I ended up going to USA when it was right there off of Day Street, and then I ended up going to KO right there off of Tyler afterwards. But he always invited me. I knew who was all over there. So yeah.
Can you tell them how hard I hit, please? Because they don't believe me.
Jeez, I remember she was able to keep up with us, like
on.
So it was very so she hit pretty solid, like you know what I mean. Because I know Eric hit harder than I did, like you know what I mean.
But Eric would say that I hit harder than him.
Damn, that's crazy. That's saying something, honestly.
That's what I'm saying. And this fool again doesn't believe the shit that I be saying sometimes.
You guys haven't sparred a little bit? Did a little?
He's too scared. Oh shit! And I'm old. I'm 37, man. You know my back.
Listen to me, bro. You can't take everything she say serious.
Oh my god. Anyways.
But she's crazy, bro.
The only reason I brought it up is because, I boxed in LA and this like finally have somebody here that can be like, yeah, actually she was a boxer. Like I'm not making this shit up.
Vanessa, I've never discredited her on her boxing. Never ever. Look, here. One time, there was this lady outside of my gym, right? Mm-hmm. And she thought the lady was tripping on me. She gonna hop out the car and try and beat the lady up. But sounds the lady just needed to know. She wanted to know. She was speaking Spanish though, and I couldn't fully understand her. So she was just had to translate for me fully. You know what I'm saying? So, but she was trying to get out the car, and
she was very aggressive.
But hey, man,
thug life.
You know what I mean? Sometimes they're trying to get their point across.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and her, she just be kicking the shit, bro.
I just be making fun. Sorry.
I mean, I get it, because it's to the thought process of even somebody doing boxing at the time, like I mean, and then at the time when I was doing it, it was like a mindset thing, like you know what I mean. It was something that really. It's a really detrimental part of my life.
How old were you guys at that time?
I was 18, 19, 20. Oh, I don't know. I was young.
I was around the time.
No, I went to... So I must have been... I had a fake ID.
I was like 20.
I was like 19, 20.
22.
I was like 22, 23.
But if it wasn't for boxing, I mean, it saved my life. I found myself when I was boxing. I really found myself. I didn't know how good of a fighter I was until like the first time I sparred, and I was like, damn, this is what I'm supposed to be doing since probably birth.
I'll tell you something. Any type of sport like that will help you find yourself. Because it's going to tell you the truth about you for sure.
Yeah. I think that when it comes to you finding like your gift, right? Okay. You know what I mean? Like your music, right? That's just you're just gifted at it. You're just good at it. Me going in that ring and not knowing anything of what I was doing, my body just doing what it was supposed to do, that's a gift. Yeah. And if that's why I'm so big on like tapping into my kid's gift and whatever he wants to do, let's do it 100%. Because if I would have been boxing at 6, 7 years old, man.
But then I think that's anybody though. I mean, if you put any person in a situation and that's all they know from jump.
Yeah.
Like just like I told people, you can't teach people, and I don't know if you could possibly agree with this too. Like if a person could never ever know racism,
Yeah, it's taught, right?
or they could never ever understand sexuality if they were raised in a dark room.
Yeah, because they don't know.
You don't know.
You don't know.
If you're in a dark room all your life, all you know is the dark.
Yep.
And when you see light, you might trip the fuck out.
What are your thoughts on the boxing world now? Do you watch it much, or are you kind of like, Nerds and Hip Hop?
The honest to God thing is I'm not the biggest sports person in the world, but I do pay attention to boxing. Boxing for me is such a love, man. There, like, you know what I mean? Because, sorry to bounce off your question into like this whole little thing I'm about to do, a little spit.
It's okay.
But boxing for me is so deep, man. Like, you know what I mean? So it's just like, even looking at some of the cats that's doing it now, just seeing, like, you know, since we have social media, you get to see their personal life more. Like, my heart goes out to them because it takes a particular type of person that, you know,
To want to get punched
sign
in the
up
face.
to want to get punched in the face, honestly.
Hell yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? And they're battling. We're watching them fight, but at the same time, we're also watching them battle through demons that they've been dealing with their whole life, man. Like, you know what I mean?
Whole life.
Yeah, and it's like, and sometimes I feel like we're judging them based on face value, or this fool's acting like this, or this dude acting like this. But at the same time, it's like, dude, you don't know their story. You don't know what they've been through.
Not at all.
You Mike couldn't even take it if it was put on you.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean?
That's true facts.
Yeah, because me personally, my boxing journey started, I was 20 years old, dude, and I was just going through a lot mentally. And, you know, growing up in LA to IE, you know, I've always been a good-hearted kid, but it was just, you know, always violence in my face 24/7. So violence started being a way for me to answer certain things. And I remember specifically driving down Alessandro, and at that time, you know, I did have guns on me and everything like that. And, you know, this dude, he was like definitely older than me. He had to have been like, you know, I was like 20, like I said, and he was like in his 30s. And, you know, he like crossed past my car in his Dave Mirror bike, and I'm like kind of stopping. I'm like, oh, my fault. And he just starts cussing at me, and it just triggered me hardcore. And I like kind of swerve over in front of him. I mean, this is on Alessandro, Main Street in Reno Valley. And like, you know, I like, you know, I roll down the window and he sees me. He stops on the bike. I'm like, what'd you say? Like, you know what I mean? And he's looking at me like, oh, whatever. And he's saying this thing. And I was about to, like, you know, kind of pop the console on him, like, type of thing. And I was like, nah. Like, I was like, I need to face this like a man. So I went to, like, I was like, hold on right quick. And I hop out and I'm about to fight him. You know, he, like, literally swings his bike at me. Like, it's like a small bike. He, like, swings it, like, little whatever. And, like, I move. And then, like, he swings it, brings it back. I duck under it. And then I went to swing, and he turns and runs. He just bolts down the street. And I was like, I'm about to chase this dude. And I'm like, I start running and after him. And then I realized, dude, I still have that damn gun in the car. Just in my car, it's just totally parked crazy.
I'm thinking about your car.
Yeah.
You thinking about the gun?
You know what I mean? I'm about to chase this dude and assault him.
I could
on
give
a
you
main
like 5
street.
different
for
things
no
that could be all
reason.
bad for you right
you
there,
feel
bro.
me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I need to do something about this temper issue. Like, I got to change something. Something has got to give.
Yeah.
And
You have self-awareness at that moment.
yeah, that I need. Like, I had an issue because this is just one of the stories. Like, we could, I know we can all just share stories.
Yeah.
all day,
Yeah, that's
but
right.
that was the breaking point for me where I was like, I need to go do something. And just so I started boxing, and you know, crazy thing about it is that my coach Eddie, you know what I mean, love that dude to this day. You know what I mean? Eddie, man, he instilled something in me because, you know, long story short, after that situation, I had got into another situation and actually had a record. And I was facing some time, and he really helped me out with my, like, you know what I mean, my case, Eddie did, by, you know, telling him, like, how involved I was in the boxing thing and everything. But the thing was that Eddie told me something that stuck with me for the rest of my days that helped me really, really as a person, was he told me that I was a fighter. And he knew I was a fighter because it wasn't the best days that where I was like really like going in there because I could punch really fast. Like, that was my thing. But he was like, it was more or less the times where, like, you know, I knew you had nothing left, and you would just take, just take the L, like, you know what I mean? Because I was smoking and all that stuff, and I would come to sparring, and I had after 2 rounds I had nothing left.
Yeah.
Nothing. You know what I mean? I was done. Like, you know what I mean? And it was just like, he was like, it wasn't the times that where you were shining, where you were like fighting good, that I was like, you're a fighter. It was the times that you were fighting, that you were done, and I was like, you didn't ask to give up. You didn't ask to, like, you know, hey, yo, that's enough. Stop.
Like, do I have to spar today?
I would just, I would just, you know, take my L, like, you know what I mean? And it helped me out because it triggered what my dad instilled in me, what, you know, other people have told me, is that, you know what I mean, Josh ain't a quitter. Josh is a fighter. Josh, you know what I mean? And I needed that because at that time I was seeking for identity within myself. Not like, oh, I need to know if people think I'm gangster. I need to know if, no, I was just lost because I was like, yo, I don't want to be angry. I don't want to be an asshole to anybody, but I'm sick of some motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Yeah. That was just the thing. Like, you know, so I don't know.
We all been there, man, for sure.
Yeah. I think everyone, I've said this a couple of times. I feel like when you're a great boxer, it's when you're really like angry. And whenever you see like a boxer get to like their prime and they become a champion, they really don't have that anger anymore. And then you kind of see like the demise of the fighter, because at that point you're not really having a chip on your shoulder and your life is good. Mm-hmm. And, you know, there's those rare occasions like Canelo where he's out there still whooping some ass, but then he takes his losses too. And he don't have that many years left to go. But I feel like when you're the ultimate fighter is when you're really like kind of still lost. And I mean, I don't, you know.
I believe that, but I also believe that I feel like you become even a greater fighter when you know yourself. When you really, because you start to calm, like when you're, okay, I'm going to be honest. I would fight an angry dude any day over a dude that's really, really calm and sure of themselves. Because they're scared, I say that all the time. Like, you don't know, because it's a level of, yo, like,
you think so?
Nah, look, let me tell you something. Let me I'm gonna give you another scenario. I used to tell this, and I'm gonna make it universal for everybody, right? I tell people this all the time, and we're gonna use a club scene for this. Those guys in the club over there that's having fun in that circle over there, leave them boys alone, because I swear, y'all gonna get your asses whooped fucking with them, because they're not bothering nobody.
Yeah.
But trust me, they about that action. I say that about my group of guys all the time. We chill. You've been around us. We chill. But I swear, bro, it's going to get ugly. Come over here with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm one of those guys. I used to be angry. I used to just lash out, snap. You know what I mean? But what it is now, I'll smile at you in your face and break your shit at the same time. That's just who I am. But at the same time, you know, an angry person is so much spinning all the time that you could get them lost in their bullshit when you're fighting them, because now it's everywhere. It's too much emotion involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like you said, when a person knows himself, they know, like, you know what I mean?
I guess I used the wrong word. Maybe not anger. Maybe just like still kind of hungry.
That passion.
You know,
you still gotta have that passion.
Hunger. Like when I was the best fighter I was, I knew who I was, but I did have anger issues in that time. And then I also just had that hunger of like, I'm fucking struggling, you know?
Gotta learn how to channel it. You gotta channel.
Let's go nerdy with it. Like, it's the best way, like the Hawk said. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, when he started to learn how to control it, it was like, I'm always angry. And I feel like that is a super dope thing, because when you think about it, is the calm person, it's not to say that they never get angry again. They just know how to harness that anger as energy that they need at that moment, or that aggression that they need at that moment to turn it on and turn it off like a button, like, you know.
Facts.
And that's when you learn how to control that to a T.
That's when you become a great
You're
fighter,
fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
Like, no one can fuck with you. Like, you're like freaking Art of War out here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're cold.
Like, that's one of my favorite books.
Yeah,
that's a dope ass book.
Yeah, for
Everybody
sure.
go read Art of War if you haven't. But so how do you, let's go to your comic book, right? So your comic book, let me put this out here, you know, promotion.
Hey.
General Joshua. How did this come about, and what does it represent? Because off of the image, it says a lot.
Yeah.
right? Just off of the image. You seen it?
Yeah.
Like, and this means a lot to my son because he's half African American and Mexican, and so like when I took him to go meet you, you don't know my son, but he like takes a little bit to get warming up to somebody to like be his full self. He knows all about that.
He got this tough look. He be like, "What's up?"
The people don't see me. I know.
I was like, okay,
Yeah,
Lil V.
I know. You should see him at Target. He be all people.
Yeah.
But anyways, but
No
tell us
jokes,
about
man.
this, and I want to let you know what it means to my kid after.
Cool. Let's see. The best way to describe General Joshua. For me, I tell everybody, man, like, the thing is like, basically it's like the book of Eli. You know what I mean? Joshua's destined to be the last general of the last army on earth, going against the New World Order. That's what I like to tell people. That's like the sales pitch. But what it really is about is finding your purpose in the chaos. And that's such a difficult thing to do for a lot of, black males or just males in general. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to generalize it fully. And, it's near and dear to home because the character's a fighter. He struggles with them, but he doesn't let them. He kind of gives off this bravado of like this confidence that I got this. Although deep down inside, he doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's near and dear to home because it's got a lot of myself, but it's also got a lot of everybody else's because he struggles with the thought and idea of God, of faith, of all that. But it's crazy because his destiny is to be the last general of God's army on earth. Like, you know what I mean? And that way, me putting that book into terms of a genre is very difficult because, I took a lot of inspiration from Spawn and stuff like that I used to read when I was younger. But the dopest thing about Joshua is that it's really teaching people about, when you don't really trust, you have trust issues, how it spawns into, trust issues with God, trust issues with people, trust issues, like, you know what I mean, all around. And it really, at some point, hinders you as a leader.
For sure.
Or learning leadership or becoming who you need to be to fulfill your purpose or your destiny.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So it's the whole story is about him learning these life lessons, you know what I mean, and going through a lot of different trials and tribulations, sometimes unnecessarily because of the thoughts and decisions that he makes as the type of person that he is. You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's a saga that really helps people. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like understand that it's purpose over everything. Like, you know what I mean? Over way you feel, over how you think this should go or that should go. It's purpose.
You basically just said, remember the mental health episode we had? Basically, he's just said what we said on that episode.
Yeah.
That's crazy. You like not word for word, but like the basis of it, it's what you just said. So that's deep. So how did you, because I feel like what we just talked about with your boxing journey kind of has a lot to do with the main character. Yeah. Because, you were going through your own anger issues, battling, your own demons and figuring out maybe having trust issues. So is this book based off of you? I know you mentioned that a little bit, but it sounds like it is a lot about you.
It's so funny because like when I first initially did it and it being General Joshua and my
your
birth
name
being Joshua, everybody thought that it's loosely based off inspired by the book of Joshua in the Bible and the book of Revelations because it's all about war.
Yeah.
But
makes sense.
It's also about the war within. And, the more I explained it to people and the more I talked about it, it really does mirror in a fairy tale world.
Yeah.
My character, like, you know what I mean? Because I did have a challenge in myself with trusting God fully, like, you know what I mean? And later on became really more close in my walk with God and all that stuff. But also just anger issues and not being able to have decent outlets. And then once you find one, you're still kind of dealing with who you are or who you want to be. because even in my journey with boxing, I left abruptly. You know what I mean? Because I remember I was actually watching the podcast saying one day you were talking about being able to find fights at your height and you know and all that stuff like that. And I struggled with that too because I was older and I was pretty in shape and people would bow out, and it was like the second bow out that really fucked with me. It just broke me from, because I left doing hip hop. I would like to do boxing because I hated the politics in hip hop. So when I found there was politics in boxing, I couldn't believe it. I just thought I had to fight.
That shit is everywhere, bro.
Exactly.
Politics and everything.
My young mind didn't want to deal with that. Like, I felt like
it's politics in the gym world too. It's everywhere, dog. You can't escape it.
No. I'm sure there's podcast politics somewhere out there.
Oh, I'm sure. For 1,000%.
Out at some,
1,000% everywhere, bro. I don't think there's no industry you can walk into where there's not politics. Period. I truly believe that. There's like, you can't escape it. I don't care what you go into. Marketing, it's probably politics.
Oh,
I'm sure.
For sure.
It's like, dude, like you can't just be free. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. So
it hurt, dude. It was just because I was like, I just wanted to fight. I just wanted to, show what I could do. And the fact was, like, I literally asked that coach the second time, "Yo, you gonna let one of your fighters fight me?" He was just like, he looked me in my eyes, but was like, "No." And I trained so hard. I was like you. I was working at the time. I was 26 years old. Like, I'm working at the time. I had my apartment. I stayed by myself. I had a case that I was dealing with. I had to go up the road. Oh, well, actually, I kind of beat the case and had work release. So I was doing work release, doing my job, and going to the gym as much as I could, and like just really believing in myself, feeling like, Josh, you could do this. And for him to dash that shit, I wanted to kill him. I really did. I stormed out of the gym. I got mad with Carl, dog. Like, I was like, yo, what the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? And me and him hashed it out better later because, he was a cool dude, but it was a hard time in my life. Like, I wanted something that I could sink my teeth into and really show what I was made of.
And he just wouldn't let me show you. So he just was like, he's just not gonna let. There was no other fighters. I don't understand. Like, or was it just that particular gym? Like, you couldn't go anywhere else and go find it, or was it just like you were just only trying to work with those guys?
So there's only a certain amount of amateur bouts, that are done, and it's a small community. You think that it's big, but it's not. When you're in the boxing world, you get to know everybody, and everybody knows you. Yeah. And so if you don't have like a pre-match already, and you just show up, it's really hard for people our size, or in our weight class and our age, to just be like, somebody's just gonna pop in the ring with us. You have to be pre-matched, basically.
And the thing was, like, Carl was trying to do his thing for me. He really was, like, but at the same time, it was more or less, I could have went somewhere else.
That's because I think you could go somewhere else.
Yeah. But the thing is my situation at the time.
You were invested where you were at too.
Right? But it was like, it was so close. Like, literally, ASG at that time
it was behind your house.
It was behind my house. Like, I literally would jog there and we're good. And Carl, since I was about to start like really going hard in it, he wasn't like charging me crazy to be there. You know what I mean? Because the first boxing gym I did was like on Day Street, and they were charging me like over 120 a month.
To USA, right?
Yeah, that's when it was on Day Street.
Yeah.
That was the first. So,
what's crazy? I never paid for boxing. Never. Anybody that came into my life, I paid maybe 1 month when my first coach saw me, and then he saw my skills and he was like, nah, like whatever you need. And then the other coach in Long Beach, he was the same way. He's like, nah, like we gonna take you far. But you know what sucks about being a woman in the boxing world is that eventually your coach tries to fuck you, and you gotta bounce. And I'm such a fucking, like, not saying that happened to me.
I was like, yo.
No, but it's like, I don't even know where I was going with that. Damn, it's just, but that happens to a lot of female boxers. That's your coach tries to do that or whatever. But
politics.
So eventually, I left that to go to another coach, and then that coach was a little weird, and I was like, yeah, I'm going back to Long Beach. So then I went back to Long Beach, and then you know, the rest is history. But yeah, it's crazy. Politics is everywhere.
Hell yeah, man.
No, and coaching is very important. Like
yeah.
the coach that you use, like I said, like even my dad knows I didn't fight as hard as when I was fighting for Eddie. Because I knew Eddie loved me, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I loved Eddie. Like, you know what I mean? Like literally, I remember me and the kid was cool later, but sparring session, like, that got heated. And, you know, I was kind of getting the better of the kid, and the ring, like, they rung the bell, and this kid just hauls off and hits me, like on some $1 Million Baby shit. Like, I'm standing there, and I'm just, like, talking to Eddie, like, bing! I was like, yo, like, what the... And Eddie went in. Like, he was hot, bro. He was madder than me. And I was like, yo, coach, chill. I was like, we got another round. Like, you know what I mean? So I was good for that because I'm like, yo, I'm going to hit this dude. But, like, it just showed me, like, you know what I mean? Like, he had my back. It wasn't like... and, you know, me and him hung out. We were cool. And it's like, if you know somebody cares about you...
Yeah.
You fight that much harder. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you're fighting for a loved one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like if I'm fighting for my wife, you know what I mean? Obviously, I'm fighting that much harder. You're fighting a multi-man at that point. Like, you know what I mean? So,
for sure. Yeah, that's when you know somebody is backing you up, like I said, I've never paid for boxing. So when somebody's backing me up that much and believes in me that much where I don't have to, like, I'm not coming out of pocket, and, like, you're utilizing your free time to focus on me, and because you know what I can do, I'm not gonna let you down.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not. There's no way.
Definitely. I'm not gonna be the weak link.
Heck no. No. I'm pretty sure I had my weak moments, but
We all do.
So check it out, man. I gotta always do like a little questionnaire, right? It's multiple choice. So I'm gonna see where your brain's at with some things real quick, right?
I love it.
Check you out real quick. Hold on. So let me see. Let me go on my phone real quick and go to my notes. So, you've been in the comics real deep, right? Comic-Con, you go to all the little events and stuff, right?
I try to. I don't be able to make too many because they're far and wide, and some of them are expensive as hell. But I don't want that to mess up your question.
yeah.
All right. But, you're into comics, though, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sorry.
All right,
Make
so...
sure you get close to the mic.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
All right, so...
I got comfy.
It's okay. So, my first question is, and it's A, B, or C, you know what I'm saying? It's multiple choice. What is the first black superhero comic book? A, Luke Cage. B, Black Panther. C, Lion Man. The first ever.
First ever. That's a good one. I know. I want to say Luke Cage. I don't really know about Lion Man too much. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm going to say Luke Cage.
A?
Luke Cage, was he A?
Nah, it was A.
It was A?
It was A, but it's C, Lion Man,
Really?
1947.
Damn, my daddy's A? That's my dad. God damn.
1947, big dog. C, it was Lion Man, 1947. All right, the next one is, this should be easy for you right here.
Okay.
What is the biggest selling company in the comic game right now? So we have A, Image Comics.
Okay.
B, Marvel Comics. C, DC Comics.
That's that.
I'm thinking Marvel.
Correct.
Yeah, DC. Come on now.
I still gotta ask the question, bro. All right, now we're gonna go into a hip hop question.
Okay.
And this is a 2024 list.
Ooh.
Here we go. What is the biggest selling artist album in 2024?
Okay.
A, For All the Dogs, Drake.
Whack.
B, We Don't Trust You, Metro.
Meh.
C, Vultures, Kanye.
Vultures.
I'm thinking For All the Dogs.
Correct.
Yeah, that did really, really well.
Yeah, For All
Who's
the
that?
Dogs, Drake.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, before this whole beef hit, For All the Dogs was doing this thing. Like, you know what I mean? As far as, you know, people were bumping it. Like, I knew cats that didn't even mess with Drake that were like, yo, I love this album.
Is that the one where he came out with the deluxe and it was all like love songs or like heartbreak songs?
No.
Okay, I don't know them. My
Yeah,
bad.
that one was I couldn't stand that. I ain't gonna lie.
Wait, what album was that?
It was the one before. It was kind of like,
But that was a mixtape. He reiterated. He just redid a mixtape that he had already put out a long time ago.
Oh, was it?
It wasn't like new.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the little retro one he did?
I don't know. There was an album that had just came out that was like all love songs that about him being heartbroken. I'm like, this is fucking whack.
yeah, it had like weird beats. It
Yeah.
was really odd, and it was literally for ladies.
What?
And I think he had like one dope track. That was.
And so it's right there on top.
It's definitely on me.
It's you?
No. My phone's on silent.
Yeah. So it's crazy. But before we end this, we always ask you, the guests to ask us some questions in regards to like trying to get to know us. Okay. But before we do that, I still wanted to let you know that it meant a lot for my son to meet you at your comic event because he now knows that he can do something like that. He draws. And he draws comic books whenever he's bored in his room. Oh. And after he met you, he was like, wow, somebody that looks like my dad accomplished something like this. Now I know I could do something like that.
That's awesome.
And it's not like something to shy away from. And so you're impacting the youth.
Yo, that's what we're here for, honestly. Like, you know what I mean? That's what this is for. I want young kids to know that you can do this. Like, you know what I mean, you don't gotta be gangster. You don't gotta be all this other stuff. You could be yourself, and that's dope enough. And you could do some amazing things in this world.
For sure.
So part of Nerdz and Hip Hop's like moniker is, is love what you love unapologetically.
Yeah.
Not love who you love unapologetically. That's something else. That's somebody else. It's just love what you love apologetically. I just don't want to take somebody else's thing.
Yeah, that's all right. But feel free to ask us any questions if you want to get to know us a little more.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to go from here to there.
Yeah, wherever you want.
So V, what was the thing? I told you what made me stop boxing. Mm-hmm. What made you stop boxing? Besides your son, of course. Like
dun, 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 dun.
I tried to get back into it after I had my son. I was just in a really bad headspace. I didn't have any support. I didn't have that same love in the gym. After being a female fighter, once you have a baby, they just look at you differently. They don't think that you can do certain things the same. Damn. And I was in a really unhealthy relationship. So it was like all the cards were against me, no matter what. When I would go to the gym, I would have to take the baby. When I had the baby there, who's going to watch the baby at the gym? I didn't have that support. And I just, if I would have done things a little differently, I probably would have still been boxing till this day, to be honest with you. Because female fighters, they can fight, till they're like 45. Will I do that now? Probably not, no.
I was about to say, well, shoot. You said
could I? I'm not saying that I can't do it. I'm just saying that again, it goes back to that hunger, right? I don't have that hunger like I did before. I don't, and I have, I want to be here for my son. Not saying that I'll get hurt.
You gotta find it in your rock.
Yeah, I know. And that wouldn't work for me right now. Because I'd be like, dude, I'm tired. My back hurts.
Yeah, back's broken, dog. Look, can't ever
My back is broken.
Back is broken, dog. Talking Mike Tyson.
Exactly.
My back. That's what you gonna be in there. It's like my back.
I would be in like that phase of where Mike Tyson should have retired. That's where I would be if I started boxing again right now, and I don't want to do that. So,
feel it, man.
But I do want to teach people how to fight, and that's my future goal. I would love to teach kids how to defend themselves, and and I plan to do that in the near future. So boxing will always be part of my life.
Okay.
Yeah.
For shiggity.
I mean, I'm
Great
loving
question.
Well, thanks. I'm loving the boxing thing where we're going with that.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to even ask you, like, what's your journey with boxing and, of course, weightlifting and everything that you do? Like, do you see a foreseeable future with you doing more boxing or?
No. I'm going to answer that fast now. Because I like mixed martial arts, too. Okay. So that wouldn't even be. So me fighting, like, I had to get rid, I'm not saying I had to get rid of it, but more the fitness thing was my thing. Because we could fight all day. And I think that had me in a different mode too. I know myself. That me knowing that part of me, that had me in a different mode. This keeps me controlled. Very controlled.
I love that.
And so I know that when I'm there, not saying that I'm gonna go out and just do something crazy or anything like that, but it's like the rust is off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I just know that person and I know this person. You know what I'm saying? I'm a lot more mature now. But back then when I first started and when I first started to switch, yeah, definitely I had to like make that right. You know what I mean? That right, the choice to like, and then fitness is just like, I wanted to teach people this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wouldn't be a good teacher as a fighter. I wouldn't, because I don't have patience for that. I barely have patience for training. No, I'm just messing with you. No, but I do, but I don't. And I think it's more like, well, you know, like you guys both know, like when you see somebody who like really wants it, you have all the patience in the world for those people.
Yeah.
But then you have the people who just do it. And I'm too real. So when you bring somebody in as a fighter, and it's like they giving you shit, oh man, get the fuck out of here. Like I'm that person. I don't need you today. Get the fuck on, bro. Like I don't want to deal with you, sweetheart. Pull your panties up. Get the fuck on. Bye. Like I don't play those games. Even now, as a trainer in the fitness world, like I still don't play those games. So I'm not gonna do it. And it's way more dealing with that. You already know. So the two worlds are slightly different when it comes to that, dealing with people. So I love helping people to get their lives together and be healthy long term. And we also know like nobody can fight long term. So you know, there's no point in me getting into that.
Expiration date for sure.
Hell yeah. You know what I mean?
But before we leave, go and shout out your pages so people can follow you, and I'll put up the comic book again.
Nice. All right, let's do that thing. So you can follow me on Instagram fully, Nerdz and Hip Hop, NERDZ. You know what I mean? So you put that Z in there, you'll definitely see the Nerdz and Hip Hop logo pop up. And definitely follow that, because pretty soon we'll be doing the new Freestyle Friday, which is when you see us live after you follow us, which I hope you do. If you see us live, you guys can go ahead and jump in there and have your chance to do a freestyle that has to be nerdcore, has to be something about anime, gaming, comics. We love to keep it friendly like that. And so you can follow us on Nerdz and Hip Hop. With the comic being General Joshua, you can follow us also on Instagram, _General Joshua, one word, _. And follow the journey of this comic that I will be planning on doing for the rest of my life. And it'll be a series that will be a household name. So come join us.
And that is the end of the show today. Hope y'all loved it. Peace. We out.
Bye.